Hello, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to Movement Medicine Morsels. We're still playing with the short and sweet series to see how much shift we can experience with even a short amount of practice. And it's quite wonderful because then we can sprinkle these little moments in throughout our day and have little oases and refreshers whenever we need them. So today's theme is freeing our hips and having some fun doing it, because fun is fun, curiosity, enthusiasm, openness. These are all things that give us more fluidity in our bodies because we don't tighten up with expectations or judgments. So let's just get all those judgments, all of those "I can't do this" out of the way, because if you've got hips, you can move them. So I'm going to demonstrate standing up, and this is probably the easiest way to feel the movement of the hips, but you may be sitting, so you're just going to interpret and be creative in finding ways to get moving, and I know it's possible because I've done it. And also some of you may just want to lie down and listen and imagine yourselves doing these movements freely. And believe me, that really works. So if you're going to stand up, I'm standing up. If you're going to sit, you're aligning yourself. So we always start with some alignment, which is aligning our intention that we're going to be open. We're going to rise through the crown of the spine to lengthen the torso and the spinal channel. And we're also going to feel our feet connecting to the ground. Now, even though we're focusing on hips today, we can't really focus on hips without talking about the feet. And this is one of the aspects for today. So wherever you are, feel your feet. And in fact, we're going to say hello to our hips and greet them with a little bit of gentle tapping, patting, getting a sense of, oh, there are my pelvic bones coming around the sacrum, my beautiful sacrum, your beautiful sacrum, coming through the buttocks, the sides of the hips. You'll even feel the protuberance of a part of your thigh bone here, the greater trochanter, and coming around the front and feeling the pubic bone. So just a general experience of, hello hips, these are our hips. And maybe you even want to stroke them and send energy downwards, because it's nice to feel a connection into the ground as well as that lovely suspension above. So we've said hello to our hips, and now let's connect to our feet, because we can't separate these things out. And maybe keep your hands on your hips and just rock a little bit. Shift the weight towards the balls of your feet and then towards your heels, and be nice and relaxed. And do you maybe feel your pelvis wants to shift with this? I know my pelvis wants to shift back a little bit when I go to the heels, and a little bit forward, or at least that feels quite natural for me. Maybe you have a different experience. And now just thinking about the feet, but touching the hips. What happens if you shift the weight to the outer border of one foot and then to the outer border of the other foot? If you weren't holding, would the hips naturally shift with the feet? And as you shift to the outer border of one foot, are you also shifting to the inner border of the other foot? And just letting this happen, and maybe amplifying it a little bit if it feels nice to you. And let's take these feet in a circle. So we're thinking about circling around the heels, the outside, front and back. And is there any kind of natural inclination to circle through your hips as you circle through your feet? Is there a connection? And then circle the other way a few times. So remember, when we're on the outer edge of one foot, we're on the inner edge of the other. And just play a little bit. Maybe you want to wiggle, even roll your feet more, really lifting up a border of the foot, maybe lifting up the toes, lifting up the heels, and just being playful. Have some fun with this. There are no rules. We're breaking some rules to reveal the natural design within. So now let's continue with hip circles. So now that we know a little bit about the feet, let's think about the hips. and let them go a little bit bigger if they want to go a little bit bigger, and know that the feet are below, reflecting those circles. And because we've thought a lot about the hips, let's also start to elongate through the crown of the head, so we're still moving the hips and feeling the feet and the floor, and we're suspended and tall above. And let's finish with a few circles in the opposite direction. Maybe you even want to have your hands on your lower back and your hips so you feel this. And one last little thing to finish, softening. The knees are relaxed. We know that the feet can move. We know that we're suspended above. What happens if we explore just a tiny bit of a twist? Now you have to be very sensitive here. That's why we've left it till the end, because this is where we often want to crank something in a twist. But just a little bit, the hips are gently turning one side to the other, but your feet are also having an experience, and you're going only as far as feels delicious. And if it feels good, just for a final crowning glory, you can let it be a little bit quicker. It's like a little gentle shaking from side to side, twisting. Maybe you want to hold your hair up or hold the base of your skull. And just be playful. What happens if you shift to one foot and lift the heel? What happens then? Okay, I'm going over 5 minutes, but this is just becoming so much fun. And we're doing that gentle twisting with such sensitivity, the foot, the hip, and landing on both feet, letting your chosen movement get smaller and smaller until you can be stabilized in those glorious feet, rising through the crown of the head. And let's rest our hands on our low belly and take some beautiful, nourishing breaths in and out of our beautiful hips. Thank you for joining in today. I hope your hips are happy. Mine have been happy to play with you. So we'll see you next time. Many, many blessings.